Hello, I'm Jay Abrahams, and I'm currently introducing permaculture design to the academic world by way of a PhD at the Centre for Agroecology, Water and Resilience. The PhD is based upon the work I do at Biologic Design. Trained as a microbiologist, I spent some years in the conventional wastewater industry, increasingly alarmed by the huge waste of resources and energy used in conventional sewage treatment systems. In the early 1990s, I read Bill Mollison's book, Permaculture, A Designer's Manual, and established Biologic Design to create resilient and regenerative wastewater purification systems using permaculture design principles. Permaculture design works with rather than against nature, using the protracted and thoughtful observation of natural systems rather than of thoughtless action, which tends to destroy these systems, and of looking at plants and animals in all their functions rather than treating any area purely as a single product system. A principal aim of permaculture design is to harvest energy using natural systems in order to create abundance. In his designer's manual, Bill Mollison writes that permaculture designers should create recombinant ecologies, enabling us to harness the ecosystem services provided by the natural world. Through biologic design, I now create soil-based, multi-species productive wetlands, which I have called wetland ecosystem treatment or WET systems, to purify wastewater. Because they are densely planted, wet systems use no non-renewable energy, being driven by the sun through photosynthesis. Wet systems create and regenerate soil, produce resources from the nutrients in the wastewater, providing habitat and enhanced biodiversity. Wet systems are planted with a wide range of bush willows and other wetland trees, wetland marginal species, fruit and nut trees, soft fruit bushes and flowering perennials. It is recognised by ecologists that the interface between two ecosystems represents a third, more complex system combining both. This edge effect is important in permaculture because these edges are the most productive areas in a landscape. A wet system maximises this useful edge effect in three ways. First, by the high aspect ratio of the pools and the banks of soil which make up the wet system. Secondly, by the creation of a wide, gently sloping shoreline between the banks of soil and the wetland areas. And thirdly, because the purification processes occur in the root zone. Living on the roots and in the soil are a multitude of microbes which carry out the biochemical transformations purifying the wastewater. The surface area of the root zone is immense. Permaculture design asks us to create systems which produce multiple yields with minimal or no non-renewable energy use, systems which last for as long as possible and require minimal inputs and maintenance. Wet systems are planted with many useful, productive and economic species, require minimal management and create multiple yields. The first and second laws of thermodynamics inform us that the total energy of the universe is a constant, but that its entropy is ever increasing. Living systems are the only processes we know which are able to transform solar energy into yield. Wet systems are living ecosystems and can be defined as low entropy systems, able to hold back the inevitable flow of energy towards a higher entropic state. The question a permaculture designer asks is, how can I best use the energies passing through this site or system? And our strategy is to set up an interception net from source to sink. This interception net is a compound web of life forms designed to harvest and store as much energy in as many different forms as possible as it makes its way to a state of high entropy where it can no longer be harnessed for useful work. If we fail to harvest and store water on site, we are likely to suffer from drought, need to import water from outside, using energy and resources to pump the water back to where we need to use it. Using earthworks and planting, a wet system harvests, purifies and stores as much water as possible before it leaves our site. Wastewater and sewage are purified, rainwater from roofs and impermeable surfaces can also be harvested and stored. A wet system is one such interception net, a working example of a permaculture designed low entropy system. The purification process is powered by solar energy, and the system uses the microbial population and the plants to transform wastewater into useful yield and rich, deep topsoil.